Were Arsenal robbed? Were Arsenal... Didn't Arsenal have the opportunity of winning today stolen by the referee? A second yellow card given to Declan Rice on the 49th minute of this game saw him receive his first red card in his career. Brighton then go on to dominate the ball, dominate the chances. I mean, Kai Havertz, to be fair, did have an opportunity to win the game now when you look back. But Brighton took over and dominated. And in essence, they missed a really good chance themselves, almost an open goal. But how are Arsenal fans feeling? How are Arsenal fans reflecting upon this? And let's break down that decision. And we have to break down that decision. First and foremost, the first yellow card was a yellow card. So Declan Rice is cautioned already. So I think he's got to be careful. He can't make any rash challenges. He can't do anything cynical. It has been confirmed by the Premier League that Declan Rice was given a second yellow card for delaying the restart. Now, I would be a hypocrite to turn around and say, let's try to keep 11 men on the pitch, discard the rules to not send people off, because I'm not an advocate for that. So if you're going to go by the letter of the law, if you're going to say no, delaying a restart, stopping a quick free kick from being taken is a yellow card, then fair enough. Fair enough. However, my biggest challenge with the Premier League isn't that they give yellow cards for small infringements like that. It's the inconsistency. In this game alone, in the last minute, Arsenal conceded a free kick near the halfway line. Saka threw the ball really high in the air to delay the restart and wasn't booked. We saw in the opening weekend of the Premier League, I don't remember his name, he plays for Ipswich, he was booked. Then he committed a deliberate handball and wasn't booked. Last weekend, Man United versus Brighton, a deliberate handball. I want to say it was from James Milner. He knocked the ball away to stop us from counter-attacking. The free kick was given, no yellow card. My problem with this decision is, why are you not consistently doing it? There will be 50 to 60 examples this weekend alone in the Premier League of players standing in front of the ball when free kicks are given, players kicking the balls away, players sort of throwing it high in the air or throwing it away slightly so that free kicks are not taken quickly. Why is it that every now and then the referees decide we're going to book somebody today for that? Especially, by the way, as Howard Webb. Remember, he came out when Kovacic wasn't sent off against Arsenal and said, referees really do try their best to keep 11 players on the pitch. If that's the case, and you don't book most people for delaying restarts, it is fair to ask the question, why today? It is fair to challenge that inconsistency. Arsenal will feel hard done by. Rivals will say, rules are the rules. Rules are the rules. But you wouldn't say that if it was your team. And if we are going to go down the rabbit hole of rules are the rules, well, the ball was rolling when Declan Rice kicked it away, which meant a quick free kick couldn't have been taken anyway. So if we want to get pernickety and funny about the rules, that's it. As I state, if referees want to start booking every single time a player stops a quick free kick, I'm all for it. It's the rules. But you cannot pick and choose. You cannot decide to do it to Declan Rice today and then not to Saka 20 minutes later. You can't decide in the 3 o'clock games today to not book multiple players for the same infringement. That is where Arsenal have a case to say we have been hard done by. Absolutely, in my opinion. Now, in terms of the rest of the game, look, Arsenal were the better team up into that moment, but they were up against a very good Brighton team. And as a Man United fan, last week, we got a lot of stick for losing to Brighton. And we had some moments in the match where we were really poor, some moments where we were brilliant. But this Brighton team is legitimately very good. They are really good. Yes, you can create against them. Yes, they will give you chances, but they will create opportunities. They will have moments and spells of dominant possession against the vast majority of teams in the Premier League, home and away. They're very good indeed. Arsenal took the lead. Brilliant brilliantly. Saka showed great strength, a wonderful through ball. The finish, I mean, it will probably be forgotten now in the context of the game, but the finish from Kai Havertz was absolutely amazing. We all, and rightfully so, praised Cole Palmer last weekend for his lobbed attempt in a game against Wolves. This was every single bit as good. Gets his second Premier League goal of the season, 2 goals in 3 games for him. And listen, I think he's going to score a lot of goals this campaign. I think he's going to put a lot of... I kind of laughed at a suggestion that he could be in the Golden Boot contention. I think I laughed because I don't think anybody really is in contention with Haaland if he plays 35 plus games. But I do think that Kai Havertz could score a lot of goals this season for Arsenal, looking at the opening 2 goals he's got in the campaign already. And he may have got more today had they not gone down to 10 men. Brighton's goal, look, I think this is where you can be critical of Arsenal and or their players today. I feel that Gabriel should have done much, much, much better with the goal. First of all, him and Saliba were far too... they were too far apart. There was too much space. Yes, they've gone down to 10 men. This should make you be far more compact. This should make you be much harder to break down, much harder to penetrate. The gap was huge. But Gabriel then catches up and he gets a full contact on the ball, but it's just weak. And Gabriel has been formidable for Arsenal for a long period of time. But of course, he isn't beyond criticism. And I do feel that from him today was poor. If he makes a stronger tackle there and Arsenal continue to settle into the process of having 10 men, the result could have been different. So I think Arsenal fans, especially once they calm down, they should look at some of the individual mistakes that were made today. The centre-backs being split too far, Gabriel in the lead up to that goal as an example. But once they settled, there was that one opportunity that they had, Brighton, with the open goal, and that came from a deflection rather than poor defending. Arsenal then kind of settled in, defended well, stopped any gilt-edged, clean-cut chances from happening, and they walk away with a point. There'll be some Arsenal fans that will look at today and say, it is 2 points dropped. I am fuming. This could damage our season. With the context of losing a man that some will say you shouldn't have. Some will say you should. You could potentially look at this as gaining a point because the dominance that Brighton had after that situation, you still managed to get something positive out of this result. The wider issues, the wider problems are obviously going to stem from Declan Rice now missing the North London derby after the international break. But look, Gooners, I want to get your views. Rivals, I want your opinions on the red card, on Arsenal's performance overall. Brighton as well. I want to have a little conversation about Brighton on today's Full Fan highlight show because they look like they've been dangerous the last 2 or 3 years. And I've said it before, I think pound for pound, the best run club in England, pound for pound. And a lot of people will say, well, why could a new manager come into Brighton and just do so well? But yet a new manager goes into a fallen giant and it might take 2 or 3 years to fix. Because when you go into a well-run organization, it is much easier to yield success. And that isn't taking anything away from the new coach, anything away from their players. That is just being honest about the overarching situation indeed. As ever, I want your views. I want your opinions. We're going to go to your super chats before bringing out the panel on today's show. Let's jump into them right now. First one says, what a heist is what Ian says here. Things we love to see, Arsenal dropping points, is from John, the Chelsea fan. I'm sure Chelsea fans are enjoying watching that. Of course they are. Glad Declan Diver got what was coming. I had a few people send me things about him diving today, and I don't quite know what it's in relation to. Please expand, my brother. João Pedro booting the ball, nothing, referee's agenda. I don't remember seeing that one in the game, but please send me a link. That's more my issue with it. That is my concern, is I see so many people. You will see it today. You'll see in 20 minutes when games kick off, someone will go to take a quick free kick in the middle, and you're meant to be 10 yards away, and a player will stand next to it. I've even seen it in the Prem, where players stand where they shouldn't be. The player taking a free kick kicks it. It hits the player in his legs, and the referee says, "Don't kick the ball at him. Start again," and both move away. That's why I think it's harsh. By the letter of the law, it's a yellow, but we can't pick and choose when we decide to follow the law or not.